you too. Okay, so we've got our next maths lesson, our fourth one this week, so it's probably Thursday with you. And we are going to start, have a little starter that you'll need your home learning book and your pencil so that you can write things down. So if you haven't got those now, just pause the video and go and get those. Okay, so when we measure anything, we have different units of measurement, standard units that mean the same anywhere else in the world, okay? Everybody knows what they mean. So for instance, when we're measuring length, what do we use to measure length? If I wanted to measure the length of my pencil, I might use smallest unit millimeters. I might use centimeters, that's most likely. If I was measuring the room, I might use meters. If I was measuring distance into Cambridge, I'd be using kilometers. So you go from millimeters to centimeters to meters to kilometers. If we're measuring mass, we might measure them in grams or kilograms. So in time, we use units of measurement as well. We have the smallest units of measurement up to the biggest units of measurement, actually up to decades and millenniums, and you can maybe find out what they mean if you don't know what they mean. But I have got here 5 units of measurement of time that you will know. So what I'd like you to do is I would like you to order them from the smallest unit of time to the largest unit of time. So the one that is the smallest amount of time to the one that means the most amount of time. So I would like you to pause the video now and write them down in order from the smallest unit to the largest unit of time. Off you go. Okay, how did you get on? What was your smallest unit of time, meaning the least amount of time? It was a second. We watched the second hand yesterday in the clock, didn't we? Every second it carried on. So a second, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. Seconds are definitely the smallest unit of measurement here. Okay, so what was your next unit? You should have got the minute. Okay. How many seconds in a minute? We went over that yesterday. We watched that go round 60 seconds in 1 minute. Then we know that the minutes, 60 minutes altogether make an hour. So that's the next largest unit of time. The hours then go together to make a day. Can you remember how many hours in a day? 24. From 12 o'clock midnight through to 12 o'clock midday, and then another 12 hours back to midnight. So 24 hours in a day. And then the largest unit of time on here was the year. How many days in a year? Didn't do that yesterday, the day before. 365 or 366 on a leap year. Now, there are other units of time. You might want to go off and find out about decades, or millenniums, centuries. They're not in the right order there. Go off and find out what other units of measurement you can have. Okay, so if we think about units of time, if we think about minutes. So how many minutes again were there in 1 hour? We've been doing lots of this week, haven't we? We've been counting around. We know that every time we go to a number, we've added another 5 minutes. We should know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. 5, 10, count with me. Sorry, let's start again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. I'm going to ask you to order some time in a minute, again, from the smallest amount of time to largest amount of time. You're going to need to think about your fractions of an hour. Remember, this kind of uses our turns and fractions that we talked about last week as well. So if I was going for half an hour, remember it'd be half of that turn around the hour. Okay, so it'd be half an hour. If I was going for a quarter of an hour, it would be one of those 4 equal parts. So it'd be from here to here. Okay, and we talked last week about how you could start in different places, but a quarter would be that amount of time. I wonder if you can work out how much time that would be. So if I was going from here to here, it'd be from the 12 to the 3. So I'd be counting 5, 10, 15 minutes. Remember, this is quarter past, so a quarter of the way around the clock, 15 minutes. Okay, so you're going to need your home learning book again. So I have got some time here. And again, I would like you to put them in order from the smallest to the largest, so you can find out what the largest amount of time, the most amount of time is. There are 4 of them here. Just read them with me just to make sure you understand them. 3/4 of an hour, 1 hour, 40 minutes, half an hour. So you're going to need half there. Okay, you've got clock here if you need to count round in 5s. Okay, so I'm going to get you to pause the video, write them in order from the shortest amount of time to the longest amount of time, the smallest amount of time to the biggest amount of time. Off you go. Okay, how did you get on? Did you need to use this for the half hour? Did it help you having that clock there? Okay, so 3/4 of an hour. Ooh, so you had to go 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So how many minutes was that? That's coming all the way around to the 9. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes. So that is the same as 45 mins, I'm going to put, which is just a quick way of writing minutes. Okay, so we now know how much long that is. 1 hour. Well, we know that one really well. How many minutes in an hour? 60. So we know that's definitely longer, isn't it? So that's 60 minutes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. And what do we have left? 40 minutes. Well, that's now quite straightforward, isn't it? Because we know 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes. So that's definitely less. It's got to be over here somewhere. Half an hour. Half an hour. Remember, half of the turn. How many minutes was that? Let's check if you're not sure. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes is half an hour. 30 mins. So that is going to be less time than that, a shorter amount of time than that. So that is the order. So the longest amount of time was 1 hour. Check your order. Did you go from half an hour to 40 minutes to 3/4 of an hour to 1 hour? Okay. Now the rest of today is actually just going to carry on practicing and telling the time to 5 minutes. So again, think about where you've got to. If you have spent the last 3 days just doing the minute hand, you might want to begin to look at the hour hand with me now, or that might just be too much. That's fine. If you have been doing the minute hand and the hour hand all week, or you've done it on some days, then we're just going to keep on practicing. And if you already knew how to tell the time before these maths lessons started, because you haven't been taught it in school, but if you'd already been taught at home by somebody, then I do have an extra challenge for you at the end. But carry on practicing with us in this lesson here, because we know more practice, when we practice something, the better we get. Okay, so have a look at our clock. Can we just remember, there were 2 sides. What do we call this side? This was the past side. This side, okay, these times here, these were called the 2 times, the 2 side. And we have 2 hands, don't we? We have the longest one, okay, which is the minute hand, okay, and that's the one that everybody has been using this week. And then we also have the hour hand. Okay, now let's have a little look at here. What's missing? So we've got some labels here. We've got o'clock. Okay, oh, you did that in year 1. Ooh, what was the other one you did in year 1? What's missing there? Half past. If you want to just pause the video and just work out what's missing yourself before we get the labels, then do that. Okay, let's have a look at the other labels. What's missing? Half past. That was the one we talked about. That's definitely there. Quarter past. We've just been looking at our quarters, haven't we? It's quarter past. Think which side is the past side. Is that the 3? Well done. Quarter to. Point to the number you think it's going to go to. Okay, and then 9, because remember our quarters, okay, here and here. 22, so it's got to be on the 2 side. It means 20 minutes to go to the hour. There, 20 past. We looked yesterday as well, didn't we, about the fact it's symmetrical. 22, 20 past, quarter to 2. So where's 5 past going to go? 5 minutes past the hour and 5, 2. I'm going to leave those labels on here for now. We do a little bit of telling the time, and this is where some of you who haven't looked at the hour hand yet, you might want to just stay with me because I'm going to keep the labels on. Okay, so let's start with a really nice one. What time is that? So it's o'clock. What hour is it pointing at? 3. We don't say o'clock 3. That doesn't sound right, does it? We say 3 o'clock. Okay, let's go for another one. Oops, this is being a little bit funny. Okay, so we've got the labels there to help us. Now this is where those of you who haven't done the hour hand, we've got to think about, are we on the past side, at which point we're looking at what hour it has gone past. So this has gone past the 3. If it's on the 2 side, then we've got to look at what hour it's coming up to. So it's coming up to the 4. In fact, let's just do this for a second. Okay, so if it was on the past side, what hour has it gone past? 5, good. If it's on the 2 side, what hour is it coming up to? The 9, good. Let's do 2 more. If it's on the past side, what hour has it gone past? The 11. And if it's on the 2 side, what hour is it coming up to? It's coming up to the 7. Okay, so put this back in. What time is that? It is 22 and it's coming up to the 7. Okay, let's do a couple more with me and then I'm going to send you off on your own. Okay, what time is that? 5, 2. What time is it coming up to? What hour is it coming up to? It's coming up to the 9. Okay. What time we've got there? We have got 20 past, and what hour has it gone past? It's just gone past the 12, hasn't it? It's gone past the 12. Let's do one last one. Oops, moving the whole hand. That's not what I wanted. There. Okay, what time is that? So we can see it's 1:45, and what hour is it coming up to? It's 1:45. Okay, now what you have got for the rest of the lesson is you have got a little bit of time to practice. You're telling the time to 5 minutes, and again, it depends on what is best for you. I have got exactly the same games as yesterday, plus an additional challenge, which I'll show you in a second. So the games, remember there were 3 games, same as yesterday, so practice what is good for you. If you're still finding just doing the minute hand is right for you, just stick with it. Okay, it's better to get really, really, really good at this than start learning something else that you're not quite ready for and your brain just gets confused by everything. Okay, so that's the first one where we're just, remember, looking at the minute hand. So this is currently past. Go. Okay, so that's that one. The second game, and it looks like this when it comes up. Press play game. Ooh, it's been a bit slow. Hold on. Let me just refresh. There we go. Play. Tiny words. And you were doing to the nearest 5 minutes. We're going to do it untimed. And you had to work out what the time was. It's both hands. So the second game is both hands. But for those of you who've just seen you've just seen me do the minute hand and the hour hand, you might want to have a wee go now. Remember, in your home learning book, you have hopefully already drawn out the clock with the labels. So you could always have that out in front of you while you have a go with this, if this is what is best for you. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 past. And it makes a past. So what's it gone past? It's just gone past the 11. 20 past 11. 20 minutes past 11. There you go. So that's the second game. The third game, You might want to go onto this if you didn't go onto it yesterday. Again, choose what's best for you. So you've got both hands and you have got to work out the time. So here it's on the 2 side, isn't it? So it's 1/4 to. What hour is it coming up to? 1/4 to 6. So 1/4 to 6. Go. Now the last one, this is only for those of you who had already learnt how to tell the time at home, but I'm just aware that there may be a couple of you that might have done this at home already. If you are ready, or if you carry on practicing using these games throughout the summer holiday and you want a bit of extra challenge, then the last game I've got for you is where you are adding or subtracting time. Okay, so it is a bit different. It is a bit harder. When you click on the link, it looks like this. You just need to scroll down. It looks like the same kind of game, but it is different. So loads up, we're playing. So adding time. Now this is where you can choose. Again, this might be where you want to choose the best one for you. I would go through it in order. Add an hour. Now it's really, really important that you choose analog clocks. We're not doing digital at the minute. Okay, you will do that next year in year 3. But this is what we are looking for. I'm going to do untimed because it just means I've got lots of time. Let's have a quick look. So it's going to choose a time. Oscar and Roxy play football together for 1 hour. They began at the time shown. When did they finish? So they began at this time. Remember, it's the 2 side. It's got 5-10 minutes to go. So it's 10 to 10 for an hour. So if I was going to carry on the whole hour all the way around, it wouldn't be 10 to 10. It would be 10 to 11. There's 10 to 11. Okay, so you can see now that they are all 1 hour later. That's a nice one to start with. It's quite a noisy game. And then there are other levels. So again, if you need a little bit more challenge, you want to add 10 minutes, then you've got another level there, or quarters of an hour, although they start in different places all around the clock. But you have got some games there if you need a little bit of extra challenge, or if, and this would be amazing, if you carried on using your clock in your home learning book throughout the summer holidays and you practice telling the time the whole time, practice those other games, and then you want that little bit of extra challenge, then that game would be great for you. Okay, so it is your time to go off and choose which game is best for you. And the links are on the Word document in Teams or on the PDF in the website, whichever way you've got here. And I won't see you again this week because tomorrow is Friday. And remember, Friday is your Times Tables Rockstar practice day. Okay, so good luck with telling time and keep it going. That's the key. All right, keep practicing. Okay, thanks. Bye.